Bear with me. Okay, but there's a train going by. Hold up.
What up, baby cakes?
It's loud as fuck.
I can't hear it.
It shouldn't last too long.
Okay.
Ow, that's loud. Usually the long ones come at night.
Oh, yeah?
What is that?
Zoom?
Hold on, I can't hear you.
Just drop your email and I'll send you a link.
Right, it's almost done. I'm covering my ears. Because I don't want my ears to get fucked up. Alright, I will. Give me 2 seconds. Alrighty, folks. Hello there. Kava.
Damn.
Welcome.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What's up?
I figured I'd let you in on the real live sound effects. How loud does that sound on your end?
It didn't sound that loud to me.
Oh, really?
But I could tell that it sounded loud to you.
Dude, that shit is so fucking loud. The faster it is, the
Are you like right next to this? Oh, obviously.
yeah, I'm right there. I'm fucking there.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, I'm derailed. No, I'm just kidding. So I'm about to take a bong toke, and I'll drop my email real quick.
Well, so the reason why I told you to drop your email is if you wanted to join my Zoom, because I just started.
A Zoom?
I started Zooming, and it's pretty amazing. But you have to have 2 devices to do it.
Well, take my email and email me an invite link or something.
All right, I'll just send you an email, just testing it for future reference.
Absolutely.
You have to have 2 devices. Do you have 2 devices?
Not currently.
Okay, that's okay.
But
We can
I
do it
never
later.
Zoomed, so you're broadening my horizons. I've been doing all kinds of new social things.
Yeah.
Like I just started, they call that nowadays the kids Twitch. They got a Twitch account now. I got a Discord account, and none of these accounts I ever fucking log into, by the way.
I think Zoom is better.
Really? Oh, you're throwing your hat into the ring with the Zoom. Wow.
Well, I mean, I've done Discord, I've done Twitch, and they're all like too complicated. There's too much going on.
What about
Zoom is simple.
If you sorry to interrupt, have you done Telegram?
It's okay. Yes, I've been on Telegram. Where the fuck have you been?
I've been on Instagram and like everybody else.
Oh no. You gotta get off all the Facebook Incorporated.
No, but I like Instagram so much. So you're saying like Telegram, I can use it like Instagram and just post selfies all the time?
You could, but see, okay, so Instagram is more for like if you're promoting yourself, and I get that, okay?
Well, it's more a
Telegram,
portfolio.
Telegram, for me, I use it as a resource to resources, right? So
I definitely want to get on Telegram.
Post things, and I can look into them. So that's where I do a lot of my research, because I can condense certain topics, because there's certain chat rooms or channels that just focus on those topics, and they just post things for you to reference.
That's always nice to reference.
Yeah.
I mean,
like so I've been learning about a lot of shit on here, and it's not censored
on Telegram.
So that's why. Yeah, but you have to download it through a third party. You can't download it from Google Play.
Yeah.
They'll censor it.
Yeah, I was always hesitant because there were so many new platforms coming out, like Signal, Telegram. You got this, you got that, and then so I was like, I don't want to join the wrong one. So then I had
I've tried them all.
Yeah, so basically, Telegram seems to be the outlasting one, so I need to get on that. But really,
yeah, it's good.
I'm more.
Parlor sucks.
Yeah, my mind is through the podcast and everything, but like I want to take advantage of my looks, and that's where it's like I do like the whole modeling kind of.
Your looks?
Yeah.
What do you mean at advantage of your looks?
Because I'm very cute. I'm not like drop dead
I am
gorgeous,
too,
but...
and you know I feel your pain. I do. But you know what? Like when you take pictures of yourself and share them, you're kind of letting it capture your soul a little bit.
I'm down for that, though. I'm about it.
Right.
Because,
Are you?
let's say something happens to me, hypothetically speaking, or let's say one day it's just something dramatic happens to me. Well, all these things, all these photos and all these videos and all these songs that I make will be what I leave behind. And so it's like people could always reflect. And it's almost like it's just a side mission in my life, but to be like that kind of symbolic, because I am a legend in my own right. I consider myself just a...
I get that, totally.
So it's like, I'm like a music artist as well. Do you know that?
Yeah, I know.
So it's like, I kind of have that mentality a little bit where it's like, oh, I want to be on, it's like a little bit flashy and a little bit documentary style lifestyle. And well, specifically with Instagram as well, with the editing or with the reels and all this, it's fun as well. And I'm on TikTok as well.
Have you seen my mini documentary promo?
I have not. Is it on YouTube?
No.
Is it on Rumble?
I'm keeping it private for now. No, I have it in my drive. I send it to some of my close friends.
Yeah, I'd love to see that. I'd love to see how you get creative.
Well, have you been to my YouTube channel?
I have not.
You haven't? What? Come on, Rocco.
Man, I am so fucking self-absorbed.
What's yours? I got you. I totally get it. You know, it's hard to look at other artists sometimes, you know. But so when you do take the time to do it, it's like when you don't want to go for a walk, but then you decide to and you do it.
Right.
Well,
for me, it's not even that hard, but it's just. It's a little bit hard, but it's not that hard. Like.
Right.
I just have to really like.
But it is a little bit. I know what you mean.
Like if I like your stuff, then I fucking dive in. So yes, link me up, baby. Thank you for coming in. And I don't know if I sound a little fast talking right now, but I did a little bit of drugs earlier, so I feel like I'm a little...
Yeah, you don't even gotta explain yourself. What's your YouTube?
Rico Roxx Social Suicide. Thank you for the link.
Is it a space between them?
Yep, Rico space Roxx space Social Suicide, and then that's the same as my podcast.
Rico Roxx, how you have it spelled here? Okay.
Yes. And I will I will subscribe back.
Okay, I'm Jane Shady. No, I'm sorry, I'm Sj187.
Damn, why do you have such a weird name?
That's my underground code name.
I'm just kidding.
Because, okay, whatever.
What is
Rico Roxx
I'll see it in a
suicide?
second.
No, social suicide, I'm sorry.
Yeah, social suicide, baby.
Social suicide.
And I'm going to guess what I'm doing. I bet you I'll never guess.
You're,
No, it's something on the phone.
What?
Take one guess at least.
A picture of yourself?
No, I am downloading Zoom.
Okay.
Ooh, I knew you would never guess that.
Are you live right now?
I am live.
On YouTube?
Not on YouTube, no. I had to start a new YouTube account.
Oh, this is 2 months ago.
So it's my newer account.
So, what's your newer account?
Yeah, Rico Roxx Social Suicide. But if you notice,
so there's Rico Roxx, but it doesn't say Social Suicide on it.
Oh, if you just type in Rico Roxx and hit enter, I'm sure it'll pop first thing up.
Well, yeah, that's where I'm at right now, Rico Roxx.
So yeah, then the page will be, because it's not Hypertheorist Methodologies.
Okay.
That's my old channel. You should check that out sometime. That's when I was really proud of YouTubing. Because that's when I was making like intros and editing every video. Now I'm just uploading. Let me look at Rico Roxx and just see what happens if I type it in.
So I'm not Rico. It just says Rico Roxx.
Oh yeah, that's it. With the picture of Gigi Ellen. You notice that?
Gigi Allen?
Can you know who Gigi Allen is?
Who's that?
Well, Gigi Allen, oh my gosh, you're gonna laugh your ass off once you find out who Gigi. He was like the most hardcore, like fuck society, like this artist, this music artist, who's like doing drugs, and they would do fist fights at every one of his shows. Like he would fight people and just be bloody and just like, oh fuck you. And then so it's Gigi and then Ellen instead of Allen, so it's like a twist.
Okay, there's two of them that popped up. I put Rico Roxx social suicide, and there's Rico Roxx, and then there's Lamerson.
Yes, Lamerson is not that one, not that one. That one is just, I have to take all the videos off of that one. That's an old account, but the videos on there are sacred. Those are that's mine
So
as
I see
well.
Malcolm X.
Yeah, like
September
that right
18th.
there. Woo.
Social suicide 24, social suicide 27. That's all I see in the home. It is.
For which?
But the video one has more.
So Lamerson?
Freestyle Magic Needle Live.
Oh yeah. Those are all tight. Those are all tight. But that's not my new YouTube. My new YouTube is the Rico Roxx one.
Well, I know. But it says Rico Roxx on this one. So.
Let me see what you see.
Here, how about this? Here, try to follow my Jane Shady, and then. Oh no, I'm sorry. Sj187.
Sj187.
And then there's no space.
Yeah, that is a tight name. Oh shit! Look at you. Is that you right there? Dang, with the long hair. You still have long hair?
The neck tattoo. No, I cut it off.
That's okay. That's confident. I'm not hating on the long hair. I mean the short hair.
Me neither. I love it. I wish I would have
But
done it.
you look pretty nice with the long hair. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm subscribed, and now you should see my account.
Okay. So I think you have to comment on something for it to pop up on it, because I'm
All right, I'm gonna look at this BOTW 206 video.
Beat of the week. Yep.
Sick.
YouTube is kind of shicey. It doesn't tell me when people.
Alrighty, folks. That was our local MC killer, SJ. That's awesome.
187, because I'm killing them. Alright, it's not popping up yet, so I think I have to back out of it.
That's alright. Oh man, the Hypertheorist Methodology channel, that was really cool too, though. I was enjoying that. But then I decided to change my website from hypertheoristmethodologies.com to ricoroxx.com.
Yeah.
Because I got locked out of my account on Google.
Why?
2-step verification. Never do that.
Oh, you fucked up on that one. I know. It works for me because I have two phones, and so actually it makes it a lot easier.
Man, I just left the area I was at. I lost all the phones I had. It was no good for me. There was no way to verify. I was like, wow, I had everything in the world was different. But it was cool. I only had
Did it start over like a bad breakup?
Yes, because ricoroxx.com is actually even more self-centered, and I like it. So what's up, though? What's up? Welcome. I'm just taking bong talks off my new little device here. It's called a Top Puff, and I recorded myself taking a hit off it.
It's called a chode?
What's that?
I'm just kidding. Nothing.
All right, folks.
That.
It's pretty tight. It's a little device that you screw onto any bottle, like a plastic water bottle or a plastic 20-ounce soda bottle. So you screw it onto any bottle, and then it came with a glass bowl and stem, so I could just make a bong out of any bottle. And I'll let you, since you didn't guess good the last time, I'll let you guess what kind of bottle am I using for the first time using this. What kind of bottle did I screw this onto?
Jameson.
What kind of shape? Do you think it was a water bottle, a soda bottle, a different type of bottle?
Liquor bottle. Liquor.
No, it's a Palm Olive Essential Clean Original Dish Soap bottle.
Ooh.
I rinsed it out, though. It's the only bottle I have on hand.
You rinsed it out, though. Good job. So there you go. It's a good job.
Yeah, well, shit. I wanted to use this thing.
Alright, I'm subscribed.
Yeah, so as you see how I look right there.
That's the one I was on.
I look very awesome as well. But my Instagram is my baby, my little baby.
Yeah, it used to be my baby too.
How many
Like,
pictures do you
I
have on
have a
there?
couple channels on there. I used to have a ton, but so I would always keep 187,
Oh, that's awesome. That's symbolism.
and I would alternate them sometimes.
Yeah.
But I also had a business page called Shady Jane Shady so it's at Shady Jane Shady, and on that page I showed like some collaborative things that I've done, and I was also doing some freelance videos. There's a video that I did for some guy, I forgot his name off the top of my head, but
When did you
yeah, I used
first
to do
get
that
into
like
editing?
$300 per minute. I first got in it a couple years ago,
You're very like from
just
nowhere.
right at
Your
the same time
entire
I got
life
into
having
WordPress.
internet. You barely got into it a couple years ago.
Yeah,
Wow, that's interesting. So it's a
I love it.
newfound thing, newfound love.
Yeah,
Nice. I was into
kind of.
editing all the way back since like 2006. Just the art of it. I used to edit photo slides before I even got to motion picture editing. Just I love that process of throwing a track and like cutting the shit together.
So what got me into it was Triller.
Triller, never heard of it.
That was like my first love when it came to editing videos and making videos. So before I started rapping and making my own videos, for a whole month, every single day, I did a Triller. It's like a TikTok, but like, in my opinion, better. And you can like, use different filters and stuff.
Right?
You could lip sync your own music that you upload onto it. So you can make music
You were
videos on there
ticking
really
before
easy.
they were talking.
Right.
Did you ever
I
get
was
into
trilling.
theatrical kind of editing, long form editing?
Um, I tried, but I'm more of a music video style type person, like a short documentary, like a
I love
montage.
shooting a movie scene. Like I like a dramatic scene with dialogue and angles and setting it up.
I've done a couple of takes for other people's amateur movies that they were using,
That's tight.
but that's about it.
I've been so sloppy on editing lately, but that is truly one of the things that I find joy in life is editing. I love editing.
I love it too.
That's why my Instagram shit, like some of my reels get thousands of views and my TikToks like very much views. Like I put a lot of like, not a lot of effort, but a decent amount for as much as you could put into like a 1 minute clip. But like that's just the way it's like.
So what's the most views you got on one?
On one video or one what?
On one video on TikTok.
I would have to look.
Or Instagram.
On Instagram, my reel is a reel, just like a quick little 30-second clip. I got 3,000 something.
Really?
Yeah, and I only started my Instagram a year and a half ago.
Have you ever paid for clicks or paid for likes or anything? Have you ever?
No, I never did nothing like that. And I have multiple in the 2000s.
Okay.
I have multiples in that just because I play.
Awesome.
It's like the way it comes together, the music I choose.
And you're persistent too.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. A lot of my initial reels was just me opening wine and then slamming it before the time would run out. Like I'd be trying to race the 60 seconds to unscrew this cork and then take one swig at least. And so I have a succession of those different bottles on different days, wearing different outfits, and so that's cool. And
what kind of wine?
Yeah, red wine.
Red wine.
I love red wine. I like all of them.
You gotta make a remix now.
I'm also a wine connoisseur, a little bit. Used to be bigger.
I used to be until I got sick.
Until I got broke. We both had.
I just drink Mike's Harders now.
Yeah.
And you know what? I had a girl over here earlier. She fucking drank my fucking beer. Now I'm beerless right now.
She said she drank my beer, dog. She got serious real quick. That's a problem.
Dude, she fucking drank my fucking beer.
That's fucked up. What'd you do? Did you yell at her?
I didn't even notice. No, I was busy doing stuff to her.
Wow, she hit you with the 1-2. She hit you with the distracto. She's like, drink this while I drink this.
Mm-hmm.
A drink for a drink, eh? But
and I paid for the weed too.
Oh man, you got your beer drunk and your weed smoked.
No, I should have got she should have brought her own motherfucking beer first of all. But I should have gotten an extra beer because I did invite her like earlier today. And it was just like, she didn't know. But
then you talk about your love life is awesome.
Oh yeah. What's love got to do with it?
You know that thing you were doing? That's what it's got to do with it.
Oh yeah, that's love?
Well, love in the physical sense. In the very physical sense I was using that because, oh, yeah, your love life. I don't know about if you love the woman. I just know that when people fuck, that's considered a
My
love life.
intimate life.
I guess sex life is the more technical term. Huh?
Sex life. There you go. Yeah, that's it.
You have a love life? Yeah, that's weird the way I said it. It's like, what's your sex life like? I'm trying to think of how I would normally phrase
It's
it.
all good. It's all good. I got
I know you're
I
good.
was giving you a hard
I'm
time.
just dialoguing out loud here with you.
Dialoguing. We're the lagging, y'all.
Welcome, man. It's always a pleasure to have you.
I'm trying to find that. Thank you.
I like
I'm trying to find that
the way you talk.
documentary I told you about. You do?
Yeah,
How do I
the conversation style. You are patient and you're understanding and you're like.
That's because we're not talking about COVID-19.
Well, no, it's because I'm not an idiot.
We're talking about COVID.
And you're not defensive around me, which is really nice.
Oh, are people usually like that?
No, I don't know. I just feel that some people could. I feel like if you, I don't know, I could just see it being your position. It's all in my own mind assuming this, but I would feel like some people come at you in a way you don't like.
At me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they do. It's because they see a challenge in me, and I'm not here to challenge anybody. I am in a way, but
and I feel like, yeah,
I'm not
I
here
think you
to
notice that I'm not just
or
that
compare
level.
dick size. You know.
So that's good because I would hate to be treated like that. Like just like Rico Roxx sucks.
Rico Roxx sucks.
I get challenged too, but I think in a little bit of a different way.
Yeah. Okay.
Yo. What's that? All right. A ball? Of a ball for like a ball? What kind of ball? No, I don't have any shit. No, I'm just smoking some weed. All right. No, you're all good, brother. I'm just talking on my podcast and shit. But all right. So Sj, I was just getting asked a quick question. As we were saying, no, yeah. And I'm not gonna sit here and just. Yeah, I've seen that, but I'm not gonna sit here and just be like, oh, you're so great. But I just want to know, like, it's refreshing. Your conversation style is tight.
Well, I appreciate that. I did get some just earlier, so maybe that has something to do with it.
That's good. That's great. Today's been a pretty fruitful night for me as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're all fresh out of booze. Nickname Blank. What up?
Nickname Blank. Oh, is that my homie nickname? I have a homie named Nickname.
What happened, Nickname? Did you get blocked on other people's?
He's blank now.
I'm telling you now.
So I see you on Jester show a lot. You and him getting pretty friendly?
Yeah. I co-host him a lot. We put our mind power together and we talk about serious current events and we contemplate, doomsday prepping, stuff like that. And we also talk about politics and psychology and all this that has to do. Everything's connected. So we just bring new revelations and information to the table.
You guys are both so smart.
Deep thought contemplation. Thank you. We try. I mean, define smart is honestly
knowledge base heavy
world,
in certain things.
Okay.
I'm like that as well.
Okay.
And so I love it when all of three of us are together and then we could talk. And if I say something that you guys have both not heard of before, I feel really fun. I feel like, that's amazing. How have they not heard of it? And then vice versa.
And I appreciate that. I appreciate new information, honestly, because it's few and far between people bring something new to the table to contemplate. And Jester does that too. He brings a lot of new things to the table, and I think that he enjoys.
He's a sweetheart.
His thoughts being challenged and stimulated by what I say too.
He's a sweetheart.
Excuse me.
I don't know.
He is.
I remember
when
really Jester. Nice. Yeah, he's super nice. Have you met him recently? I believe he just started podcasting not too long ago, like 6 months ago or something.
I met him probably a few months ago.
Right, same timeline. Man, that's kind of funny. Me and him clashed.
We were on
early.
No, he was here he's been here for a year or so.
Oh, really?
Now. It's just I took a break from Podbean, remember? And when I came back, I found Axiom and Strange Days with South Osman, and I was talking with them. I kind of just popped up on their show, was listening to it
Mm.
because we were like minds. And then Jester was on the show one day, and he thought he knew me. He thought I was someone else at first. So we got into
That's
contact,
so
and
funny.
then we talked, and then it turns out, yeah, we just met. And so, and then, but he liked, what I had to say about things, and so
So you went into his show? You stumbled into his show?
no, he was in, I think, South Osmond's show.
Oh, you guys
or
stumbled
us
into each
show.
other's shows? Some random show?
Yeah.
That's
No, on their other platforms or their channels.
That's
not
funny.
his or mine. Yeah.
Me and Jet, one day I was
But he
sitting
thought I was
there.
someone else at first.
One day I was sitting in my room. I was up for
Huh?
3 days. I was like so done. I was like, my head, I was just fighting to stay awake. I was in the middle of playing a podcast. I wasn't even talking. I was just not in the mood. But I was trying to get energy back. And next thing you know, he pops into my show and he was like, asking me questions. And I was like, listen, I'm not going to type to you. I'm not going to talk back to you today. And so if you want to talk, call in. If not, I'm not in the mood, blah, blah, blah. And he calls in and we end up having a whole long conversation. Johnny Reb even comes into it for like 30 minutes. It was so funny. And that's an episode. It's so funny because you get to hear the whole thing where he comes in and I'm just like, eh. And then he comes in and then I was like, oh, I didn't mean to be that dismissive. I'm just like kind of worn out right now. And he's like, oh, that's what I liked about you, that you didn't like me. And I was like, I didn't say I never liked you. I just didn't want to talk. It was just such an endearing episode. So if you ever are interested in checking that out, it's on my podcast. It's update number 16. It's Doomsday. The Doomsday episode. It's so adorable. Like, it's such a great episode of me and him like getting to meet each other.
Yeah.
It was so funny. So many fun.
Yeah, I'll check it. I'll try to check it out. You should send.
I think I'm losing you. Uh-oh. Folks, we lost it.
You cut out.
All right, there we go. You just came back. Hey there. So you said I should check out what?
I'm about to email you, so make sure you email me the title of that
Okay.
episode you just talked about.
Yes.
So I can remember.
This is networking right here, folks, at its finest.
Damn, my nose all stuffed up.
That's so funny. So, okay, tell me your top 3 platforms. Let's get back to the platform talk.
My top 3 platforms?
Mm-hmm.
Right now?
Yes.
Podbean, Telegram, and texting my personal friends.
Interesting. Because, so mine would be Podbean, Instagram, and Rap Fame.
Rap Fame? I tried Rap Fame. What the fuck is up with Rap Fame? It's not free.
Yeah,
I don't.
You could do a free version, but if you're just like one of those people who just don't like restrictions and just want more fluidity in the app, then I chalked up the yearly payment for whatever it was I did because I just wanted to use all the features. I was like, fuck it. And I love rapping and shit. I haven't made a song in a while, but I made like 8-9 songs on there.
I forgot to tell you. I make my music on Nana.
That's right. I looked for it. I couldn't find it on the Google Play Store.
You know what happened? Just recently they took it off Google for some reason. And they said they're trying to work out the issue with it.
Really?
But they don't know why it's happening. But
wow.
Yeah, it's weird.
I looked it up a long time ago. Well, because Big Life.
I know. I told you to fucking get on there.
Yeah, I remember that was when we first met.
Big Life. He's out there. Yep.
Yeah, man.
I brought Big Life onto it.
There's a couple episodes with me and Big Life that are heart wrenching.
I'm about to send you my little.
There's an episode that makes me cry with me and Big Life.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I was crying in it. I was crying in the episode. I was fucking suicidal as fuck that day, or something.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, it was pretty funny though because he was like, quit bitching. And then I was like, I'll suck that shit up. I don't care. And we ended up doing 30 minutes of rapping afterwards, and it's just gold. He and I both just out of nowhere, we go from this hour-long talk and then hit it with 30-minute just golden freestyles. It would sound just so nice.
And then my drunk ass shows up.
Yeah, your drunk ass. I remember the first podcast. You came in, you would always stumble in, and it would always be a good time. Fucking. Do you have a podcast? Do you actually make a podcast, or are you just this hot guest that pops around?
Yeah, I like hopping on other people's ones because, like, I don't know, I'm cursed. Nobody really, I mean, okay, so I'm not a good host, you know.
A main
I'm like a
host?
great co-host, though. I'm a good subordinate.
Good, just a part of a team, a group?
Main host, I don't like a lot of responsibility.
Yeah.
I like to be a subordinate. I'm a good subordinate.
Yeah, I like subordinates. That's the beauty of it.
It's part of my personality type.
Scorpio on the lion's back.
I compliment leaders.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm the best leader in the world, but I know I have the potential to be, and I know I'm somewhat a good leader, but I still have a long way to go to myself.
You should listen to the shows you pop into because, I mean, if you can, because like when you pop in, like it's obvious you're a leader compared to other people, and not putting other people down, but like I don't pop up on someone's show and can just take the floor gracefully and like people just listen. People like to talk to me all the fucking time. I have to fight for my fucking airtime.
I know, when you're like, I hate you. I was
you
so
know,
heartbroken. I was like, I had a feeling that was
I said that because I kept getting interrupted and I wanted to fucking talk.
And then I say one tiny thing and he answered me so clearly. He was like, oh, okay, I'll answer your question, Rico. After I say one little side comment, like.
Yeah, everyone's afraid to talk to the intellectual female because there's no such thing, right?
I don't think that's true.
Anyway.
Yeah, he's right there. I know. He said something about a bike.
Well, I think a lot of people make me feel that way. Not you, but like a lot of people on there.
Yeah, I guess I just don't see it.
Like as soon as I start to talk, everyone gets all uppity.
Bring what? The bike. Why the fuck you gonna ask me to bring it if I was over there? I didn't even know it was coming.
I'm looking for my weed real quick all of a sudden. It's dark. I'm just using my phone flashlight to stay lit. But in any case, that's interesting you mentioned that. But that's cool because I'm trying to, in my mind, the reason I was asking you your 3 platforms and I'm asking about the host is because I'm trying to see how much body of work you have out there on the internet. Like, as far as, because I noticed your YouTube, it was like a year ago, the videos were posted like a year ago, or not like, but they were posted a year ago.
Well, my newest one was posted like not that long ago.
I see. So my thing is, I just seen your highlighted videos. I thought that's why I was concerned. I was like, she hasn't posted in a year.
Because I don't put all of mine on the list because a lot of them have like content that I just don't want everyone to see, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like.
So yeah, well, no, I was just wondering because you know how you said you were supporting it. Like I was just like my mind starts playing with what potentialities for some reason, and I was just thinking like.
I'm good at behind the scenes and editing and presenting myself that way. I'm not good freestyling. I mean, I can freestyle, but I'm not particularly. That's
cool. That's cool. Man, I don't know. That's cool. I didn't even think, but like
I hate it when people catch wind that I'm a rapper and they're like, rap for me. I'm like, dude, I'm nobody's.
Yeah, that's a little bit annoying, but I welcome the challenge usually.
On-demand rapper.
I hate to say it, but I am an on-demand rapper for the simple fact that I choose to view the world in a way that is actually sure it's like you play me, you play yourself kind of thing where it's almost like thank you for the opportunity for me to show you like you just poked a dragon kind of mentality. Like I'm not gonna fear like sure you want a circus act, but I'm gonna give you something more than you were reckon for. And that non-hesitation is just that the challenge of non-hesitation for the sake of building the habit of non-hesitation in the face of challenge.
Well, see, rapping is cathartic for me. So if I'm in a good place, if I'm calm and I'm not like, you know, I have to be in a certain mind state and have some lustful substances. And I don't like being put on the spot like that because I think all they're trying to do is just prove me wrong, you know?
Yes.
And so I'm not going to let it go down like that. It's like if you really are interested, you can go to my fucking
right. Yeah, like you're not a show clown. You're not just like a. Exactly. I'm not a court.
I'm an artist, not just a rapper. Like I make my own stuff.
That's definitely a valid point.
You know?
I feel that way too. I could say in a lot of ways where it's like you should it's just a lack of respect almost, but it's almost because they don't know you enough to respect you yet.
Well, a lot of rappers, it's part of the rap culture to be able to freestyle, you know, and show what you got, right?
Yes, and that's
But
the
it's
aspect
just
I
like
embrace as
it's
well.
not as all like that. I'm more of a recording artist who happens to rap.
See, but this is the thing. Like, just to further the point, I'm in nature, I am a recording artist, a very sensitive person like that. But in the sense of that whole thing of building the habit of and face the challenge of, so that is also a whole different aspect where this is the only thing that I think that gets taken out of context is the part of where I like. You know, that you were mentioning. I like to do this, I like to do this. It's not. Has nothing to do with the decision process of why I will spit if gets challenged. It's not a like thing there at all because I don't necessarily like to.
Like?
Yeah, I don't like to do it either.
Oh, like?
Because yeah, like I don't like to do that when people ask me to. But what I like is the look on their face when I do. That is what I like.
See, that's another thing. Look, that's another thing. So when somebody raps to me in person, I smile at everything, but honestly, it's like I'm kind of uncomfortable. I have to admit, I don't know
Really?
why.
What part of it makes you uncomfortable?
Even if they're good, like that's awesome because I don't know. They want me to react. I like to be calm and relaxed and in my own
Yeah,
zone.
so you don't like it and they don't like it?
Or whatever.
Like, that's so funny. Because that means that that's like the scenario I'm thinking of with you would be three people. Somebody else.
It's awkward.
You're not, like, you didn't ask the person to rap and they didn't ask to rap, but then somebody that you guys were with asked them to rap and now they're rapping and then you don't want to hear them rap and they don't want to rap, but the person who asked them pretty much initiated it.
Well,
it's funny.
How about this? If there's another person there and they're rapping in front of us but not looking us in the eyes, I'm cool. You know, they get into their little zone. But when someone's looking me in the eyes and rapping in my face, it's uncomfortable.
Oh yeah, that's very specific though. Like, watch me rap.
I'm not a battle rapper.
I used to battle rap. It was kind of fun, but yeah. No, I agree. Like, I agree with that. Like, I definitely will rap in front of someone just because it's a alpha male thing, where it's like I will not back down. But really, I never go in there like I hope they ask me to rap unless I'm in a very specific mood. But I always will because I was in a car once I was a temp worker and it was me and three middle-aged black people. It's like, you know, a thug kind of mentality. We're rolling up blunts on the way to our temp job and we're smoking and it's like, you know, hip hop gets involved and we're sitting there and I'm in the car with them. And I'm driving, actually, and because I was the one with the car, taking these three black dudes I never met before to this job. And we started talking. They were talking about rapping. Oh, they're freestyle. It's like, oh, well, who's gonna spit? And like, I was watching the scenario. I was watching the three black dudes interact very carefully. I was like, let me see like a hierarchy of this, like to see. And so they start mentioning rapping, and he's like, well, let's spit some. And I noticed that out of the three guys, two of them had this look of fear and anxiety in that, and one guy, without hesitation, just started. And then I watched the process of the level of power that the guy who, without hesitation, didn't have that same look that those other two had. In the three of them, he became the alpha.
You had confidence?
Yeah, so, and I decided right then when I was driving that I would always take the challenge, no matter what. Because I wouldn't want to be one of those two guys who was like, even if I didn't want to. And I started doing that, and it has held true.
So you like to be the alpha?
Well, I just don't want to not be the alpha. It's not I want to be the alpha, but I don't want to be a victim. I don't want to be the beta.
Well, you don't have to be the alpha, but you could be like a good support. You know, like let's say we're all in the car and I'm there, and someone starts driving, like we could like maybe back them up, or we could bob our head, or we could
right.
Like hear, at least listen with confidence. So it's like we could also be alpha.
Oh yeah, I'll share.
It's just not like everybody operates
if someone's
the same
like, oh, will you
way.
spit? I'll be like, yeah, spit, and I'll be like, I'd love to hear you as well, or whatever. Like I share my limelight with other people. I'm not a limelight hog, but my thing is to more further understand it is a level of control. Almost a warrior in the garden, not a gardener at war. If you ever heard the phrase, a warrior in the garden, not a gardener at war. A sense of, I want to be able to have the power of a deadly samurai and just be in the garden. But I like to know, for some reason in my insecurity, in like this existential life anxiety, that I want to know I'm formidable and I am trained up and I'm ready for that action. I don't want it to be some virgin idea, if any.
Because you don't want to miss out.
No, I don't want to be hurt in the face of unknown.
Hurt.
Yeah, like I always want to be ready for anything because I don't want to be that fragile. Because I don't know what's out there, but I know if I don't prepare for something monstrous shit, then I could be taken out easy. And so it's like,
what does that have to do with rapping, though?
because that's the habit of challenge facing. Because when that's just in a rap sense, but it goes to everything in life. Like, let's say you have to save your wife and reach your arm down and she's falling off the cliff, and you actually can successfully cusp her forearm. That is all a thing with something that can good under pressure. That can be trained up through any multitudes of different various things. Have you ever thought of that kind of stuff? Like training the habit neural pathways of certain things, so that it's like marathon runners, this kind of thing, where it's like they get good at the uncomfortable thing, but only through a set of habits.
It's like T.I. Hero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's that serious because, and also if you look at it in reverse
So
sense,
whenever my power goes out, my roommate just stands there, and I'm like, oh, there's a delay, by the way.
Say it again? Okay, I think she is yelling at her roommate.
There's a delay.
Is there? Is it an echo or
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
No, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, no, there's a delay in our connection.
Damn. Well, I just want to say thank you one more time. We're getting really deep because I think you could maybe paint a bit more picture if you care to about myself. But it's a training thing. That's all it is. If you look at it in another, I don't even know if she can hear me.
It's a skill. Rapping is a skill.
Well, not rapping, but like let's say the thing of being a habit of success or a habit of non-hesitation in anything. Like, so a girl is like, oh, go, if a homies are like, oh, go talk to that girl, like, oh no, or versus I'll do it. So just, it could be like, let's say you have to save somebody, you could imply that there, because if you look at the reverse, a hesitation builds a habit of hesitation. So even if you're training good and doing all this good stuff, if you have such a strong habit of negative things, then that is like, it's a very careful thing. If you look at it in the structure like that, you don't want to.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
You don't want to be. Yeah, it's just like I've been thinking. I learned about that kind of thinking a long time. I don't know, it makes sense to me, neural pathways and stuff. But it's a good thing. It's a good thing. You don't want to like something stupid to take you out. I think like you want to shine. You want to shine and know you're a shiner. I feel that way. Like without being an overt. I'm not a fucking.
Okay, that's why I've been prepping. That's why I've been prepping.
Yeah. What is your prepping looking like? Spiritual prepping? So
every time for doomsday.
Well, I mentioned, you mentioned the other day something about you, like, oh, even if you die, that's better than living in the hell.
That's better than being immortalized?
Well, no, or if, like, instead of sitting there scraping for life, like, in sitting here living in a post-apocalyptic world, it might not, like, you could go to a better place in theory, right? You mentioned something like that.
Well, see, the problem with our soon maybe to be apocalypse is inoculation and the mark of the beast and having our souls stolen. Therefore, we will not be able to transcend. And so I want to be able to die and then transcend away from here than be stuck and be captured in this hex.
Interesting. So you're actually thinking of the spiritual war of everything, not just the physical collapse of society, but the spiritual collapse of the soul.
Correct. But see, the thing is, like, I have a dog, right? And I need to make sure he's comfortable through his last days. And I don't want to see anything bad happen to him. So if it weren't for him, like, if he wasn't here, I'd probably already be dead and in prison. But let's say he dies tonight, for example. Okay? Like, I'm not going to worry as much about prepping and surviving, honestly. I'm going to worry about timing. Like, I want to be able to live long enough maybe to help, but then, I want to die before I'm captured.
I have a weird question for you.
Forced.
Pertaining to this. So let's say, hypothetically speaking, if it came up to it, push came to shove, the world starts going crazy, and you noticed your dog was about to get crushed by like some impending thing, like you seen the trajectory. It's like, oh shit, this building's about to crush. Would you kill yourself before you had to witness that?
No, but I would definitely
Okay.
go on a killing spree.
Well, because I was trying to think of like if it was such an intense thing where it's like I'll bite my own tongue out and drown in my own blood before I see anything bad happen to that, because it's like unbearable.
Oh no, I'll make someone shoot me to death.
So it's right under that. It's right under where I was thinking you're at, which is good.
I have to go out with a blazing glory. I can't kill myself. That's against.
All right, because I was thinking you're at that. So it's like you just don't want to see the dog suffer.
I don't want to see him suffer. No, let's say I've also thought about, if let's say my house is getting invaded or something was coming, right? Like something where I was afraid someone else was going to get his hands on him.
Mm-hmm.
Like push comes to shove, the worst case scenario is I would drown him in the bathtub.
I just switched the audio setup, so maybe there'd be that less of a delay, and I didn't get the.
That was a huge echo. It's all good though.
It's probably better now.
My biggest fear is some psychopath getting his hands on him and torturing him.
Oh no. Yeah, that'd be awful. See, that's one thing that maybe I think I would love to learn from you over time if I could, based on everything so far. Is like I have a really hard time with this soul concept. For all my thoughts and all my, as you can see, I'm pretty perceptive in the neurotic sense. But for some reason, I just don't understand what the fuck is soul.
Yeah, you're philosophical. You're mindful. Your mind is your soul. Your consciousness. You are self-aware. You are aware that you have a soul, and your body is merely a glove. It's your vessel of earth.
Per se, but what I don't is
you don't
how
own the
you
body.
mentioned.
It's not your, but it does reflect your
You
image.
know how you meant the context of when you mentioned selling your soul or this other stuff. That I have no idea what that is.
So it's either selling your soul or being tricked into selling it,
You
or
obviously have looked
having
into
someone
these ideas. Like, who
forcefully
would buy
take
and
it.
sell souls?
The very people who are trying to implement transhumanism, the next new world order. And so right now, I think what they're doing is not only are they committing democide and genocide, they are also experimenting on immortality. So they're using us as guinea pigs.
Okay, so this is a
and
every other people can.
I think that's one of the hidden agendas.
So for a guy like a lot of people, probably there's like, okay, if I die, that's it. Like, or like even like, this is my thing. Like, they have
nihilists or atheists.
Most people think that when they die, they're set free. But you're saying that that's probably not. That's maybe not the case.
Yeah. Oh no, we were alive. We were a soul before this life. We chose to be here. But see, in order for us to truly experience life, our minds had to be wiped clean.
How would a guy?
Of memories. And so,
no one ever told me that before.
To me,
no one who's made they don't tell you that in school really or nothing. You understand what I mean by that? Which is like, I never think of stuff like that. Like, it's interesting you bring that up. It's interesting to me. It's a vein that like strikes me as so. None of those thoughts are ever in my day to day. Like, oh, I would like my past life or a soul.
I bet you.
I feel like I'm missing out a little.
Yeah. We wanted to be here. See, but the thing is, no one told us that once we got here, it was going to be a game, a hunt. Our souls will be hunted the whole time somehow. And we don't know that until we do, right? So our whole lifetime, we're really recovering from amnesia.
I understand this theory.
In my opinion. And
I get that. Like a joke, forget it.
Because we're all aware of something, aware of our existence, aware of logic.
Do you think there's varying levels of the amnesia?
Because we can't make something from
nothing.
Every
person? Do you think that everybody has different levels of that amnesia?
Yeah.
What's your level of amnesia?
Just like we have different,
life at all?
I feel like it's a vague memory, and I do have solid memories of before life. Like, for example, it was sometime after I was conceived, but before I was born, I was approached, like, existentially, approached by two entities, and they said, but not verbally, they said to me, okay, it's time to choose. And I knew what they were talking about. I was like, okay, girl. I had to choose my sex, my own sex. And I don't know why I chose girl. I just did. I don't know why. I just did. I chose girl.
Whoa.
So I chose to be a female, and
Tight.
yeah.
Well, yes, I don't like. This is a realm in which I haven't explored, and kind of it's a little, not upsetting, but it's one of those big rocks I have left unturned in my
It's a
mind.
deep thought.
Because I have I've tried to view the world through a
Yeah.
pure perspective, and that perspective that you speak of is such a weird one to me. Not weird in a weird sense, but
It's metaphysical.
right.
It's hard to like
that
explain or
metaphysical,
detect or
the study of the
scientifically.
metaphysical. Did you study the metaphysical, or is this an instinctual understanding you have of the?
Yeah, it's one of my interests. I do.
Oh man, I think I'm so wet behind the ears in that subject. So that's a good subject for you. That's something I don't even know shit about metaphysical. I'm not saying I don't know nothing, but
Ever since I was very young, I thought of the existential origin. Like, where did everything come from? And where did that come from? And then where did that come from? You know, I've always been so fascinated and frustrated by that.
I wonder, the reason I get so torn up about it though is because I wonder what ripe nectar I could be missing from that thought tree, because I like to find the most efficient way to analyze certain things like my brain, and then the mental, the physical, the this, the that, the audio, the senses. It's like, I feel like my lack of understanding, I could be tapping into something more, maybe. I'm not sure though.
Well, my main thing is just think of it this way, like, whatever happens here in this lifetime on Earth, we're just visiting. This is just the experience. But we have to recognize that we do have a soul. We are a soul. And we're merely here visiting in a body, in a vessel, in a glove. Okay? And so as long as we don't sell ourselves or give in to evil or allow our souls to be consumed by it, no matter what we do, we could do drugs, we could sin, we could do all those things. But as long as we keep our soul intact, as long as we're conscious of that, then we'll be able to escape.
I understand
we're
that
in
level,
a hex right now. We're under a
I have
spell.
a little bit of instinctual conceptualization of this soul as well. I actually invented a theory based, and it's kind of funny because I don't know shit about the soul really, but my main theory that I invented is a soul theory. Almost like you're mentioning, it's kind of interesting because it always breaks my heart once I start understanding, because then it's like, oh, it reminds me of my fucking theory, and it's like, that theory is pretty daunting. It's like the Chicken Run of the souls, the movie Chicken Run, but for souls, making us pop pies and shit.
So,
So that shit's interesting.
Yeah, and we're in purgatory.
You ever consider soul farming?
This is purgatory.
Like mass soul farming?
Well, I think that's what they're
see,
doing.
In that sense, I understand.
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
Yeah, see, okay, so I do understand. I have to remind myself, okay, because now that's because, oh man, that's an interesting thing you're bringing up, because I was watching the world and I was thinking, man, physically farming humans, I could see them doing that, because even then they were successful, I would say. There's so many humans, but I was thinking, like, so many humans die, it seems like a waste of commodity. And then it dawned on me, like, what if they're farming souls? So the more humans they farm physically, the more souls they can farm, and then they could harvest the souls, like you were saying. Interesting.
Well, I think that we're coming to an end of a cycle.
Oh, I think so too.
And
I think
a great revelation, a great awakening. And us souls, what?
We are ripe for the picking.
I think like this last generation of souls once we transcend away from here after we die, we'll look back and we'll be like, hell no, I ain't going through back there again. And we're not going to come back. That's why they need to harvest souls, because they know that we're not going to come
Let me
back.
ask you this. Let me ask you this before I get back into the theory of the farming shit. Though I want to ask you a more nuanced, like, a little more for just personal thing. So, your imagination, if you were to just picture, drum up it off the top of your head here, what would the entities that are farming souls be like?
Vampires.
I'm talking like,
explain, like
vampires. Just open it up here. This is open, like, describe this entity. Would it be a celestial? Would it be a big entity? A little entity? Just describe to me, because it's an interesting question to me. Like, if you don't mind. Like,
it's celestial in a way, but yeah, it's of Satan, the fallen angel, the antagonist, but it's also godlike in its own. This is
what do they look
Satan's
like to you? In
realm. This is Satan
yes.
developed this. I think that they can look like all different things.
Really? I bet you they're ugly.
It's more of like listen, it's more of like a spirit that may appear that
makes sense, a spirit.
Time, but then followers, people who were taught. What? What's that?
Is it? No, I was just saying a spirit. I was just thinking. I'm just listening. It's fascinating. Continue.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So like, I don't believe that our God is actually the creator of these bodies and this land.
When you say this?
Or the physical realm.
This body, like your physical body, or the entities' bodies, the soul eaters' entities?
Yeah, the physical realm.
Our God?
The soul is of God, our God, the spiritual God. But then the physical God is Satan.
Almost like the
simulation God.
Just real quick to see if I can make sense of this. So when you break bread, what it starts is from this thing called a starter, apparently, where it's like this main starter, and you take a little piece of this main starter, and then you can make so many loaves out of this main starter, because that starter is the live starter. It's a living thing, and little by little you use it all up, but you use a little bit to create. So you're saying, almost in a sense, God is the starter and we are the loaves of bread, and we're all taken from the same initial starter? Is that what you mean?
And Satan is the baker.
Okay, so I'm with you there. So as far as this, so you're saying that our God is not what? So our starter is not the one who made all the starters?
The God is not the creator of this.
So you're saying that so you're saying the starter is not the creator of the bowl.
He created the one who created this realm.
Of that it's in. It's just part. It's just
right.
It's a part.
No, people are the creators of those, but the one who made the physical matter.
It would be somebody other
who created the physical matter is also the starter. So we're like
I think it's a little different, because then that's like saying that the bread would be making the bowl. No, it would be the human, which would be blank, because the yeast, the starters guy, we're the bread.
The physical realm is
but the bread can't make. No, we're the bread. We are what the starter gave its.
Yeah, we're part.
Yeah,
we're
so
like the bowl.
In this context,
humans would be bowl, pretty much. But we made the bowl, though. It's like the bread making bread.
Oh, the bread. Okay. But not the counter. So
it's who's like the human?
Who's the actual, the creator of the oven? Like the actual creator of the putting it all together.
So, our main creator is God, but God created
our creator, but not
Satan,
the creator of our.
Lucifer was the first physical being.
Oh, I see. So
it
took from the starter. The first thing it baked was Lucifer into the physical world.
So I think God made the mind, or the soul, so to speak, the spirit, and then from the spirit materialized or manifested Lucifer, his first son, who became.
Why do you think that just began the cycle? Just to begin the cycle of all this? Like, hey, let me just create one right now.
I think Lucifer wanted to have all the power.
What do you think?
Because it was a reflection of God, or God's image of what
I get that. Do you think
that
I guess it's all part of some divine plan, or it is not anymore based?
Well, I think that the plan came second. The plan came first. So God wanted to interact, I think, with himself, and that's when he made Lucifer.
I like that. I like that concept.
And Lucifer kind of came to hate him, and so God made a second being out of love instead of desire, because Lucifer was made out of desire, and the second being was made out of love. And then so his love child and his desire child ended up, Lucifer ended up corrupting the love child because he was jealous. Because God was trying to do it right the second time, but ended up just making something for Lucifer to use against God. Therefore creating this physical realm and creating procreation and all these scattered souls.
So when God created Lucifer in the physical world, did he create Lucifer, like Lucifer's soul was built in the physical realm?
I think Lucifer created
born with
really
his
the physical
ultimate end goal. So he was like a little tiny baby Lucifer soul, right? And then he ended up doing all kinds of shit in the physical realm that grew his soul to apparently profound proportions.
Well, I think in God's realm, the spiritual realm, there are places, there are dimensions, like actual places, but it's not like the physical realm. It's a different conscious level of consciousness and platform of
right, something where there is no up or down. It's not binary. It's not good or bad. It's more just the creator doesn't really stick his nose in who
different.
really is doing what. He's just more like
the spiritual
right, so I
realm.
I like that a lot. But how about this? Yeah. So let's get back to the soul farming theory construct a little bit. So let's say that we're chickens run of the souls, and there's these entities that live longer than human lifespans, and then they figured out how to farm human souls by the masses. Psychology, AI connections, Google, maybe all these people. Do you think that those are all ancestral kin? Like somehow the lineage of the Lucifer entities? Is that kind of a theory that I'm getting at here?
Well, I think in a way, yeah.
Or is it just not like some
what a narcissistic personality
from the
type
originators
is, right?
at this point? Do you think?
Well, okay, so I think that Lucifer utilized the spirit realm to create living conscious beings.
Right, because I'm salty. Me being someone who's getting my soul farmed, I'm actually pretty upset about that. So it's like I'm trying to figure out who the fuck is doing this. Like I'm like, who need to talk to management about this? Like,
well, no one can take your soul without your consent.
I disagree in my theory. I respectfully disagree in my current understanding, because in my understanding of all this is how it works for soul farming is. Once you go pick your harvest, the fruit don't get the choice to say, oh no, you can't pluck me. I feel like if they're smart enough to farm us, they're smart enough to pluck us.
Well, I think that's what
because no one will ever
is.
just go and tear their
Is when
soul.
we actually
like,
become
eat my soul. So, but they don't have a choice at that point. They can't.
Well,
in my mind,
some people do, but they're naive.
In the soul realm, that they'd be such a weak soul versus the one who is trying to devour them, that their lack of soul power and understanding, they get eaten. They're the smaller, punier morsel in the soul world. Humans, I mean.
Well, what I think is that, so Lucifer is not really here to do stuff. He uses others to do his dirty work. And once you start doing his dirty work, you pretty much sell your soul in a way, if you will. And I think the reason why immortality and youthfulness is so important to them is because they know that when they die, they go to hell. They opted into them.
everybody who's hearing this in the audio recording, I muted myself. But no, I don't want dead air though. There's an event happening, so bear with us.
I want to hear it.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
All right,
I wanna
so
hear
let's
it.
go down there. Have it. Take this moment to subscribe, everybody. Make sure you subscribe to Rico Roxx Social Suicide Podcast if you get the chance, baby, which you do right now. Thank you, Kava, aka Sj187. Bear with us. I live very close to a train station here. You should see the view, though. You should see the view. Alright, folks, I think we're just about at the end over here. It's a nice pause from the Soul Theory, though, talk. I love this talk. It's a good talk.
Yeah.
I've thought about this for a long
I
time.
like talking about this.
I can't hear you, though. Almost. I can't hear you yet. Sweet. Okay. Alright, folks. I hope everyone's had time to clear their minds. As you hear the train slowing down in the background, I want us to all get back to a place of divine understanding and galactic observational power, because the fate of the free world may depend on it. Who knows? You never know. Your sanity, maybe. Your sanity may depend on it.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You should play songs when the train goes
Hey,
by.
there's an idea. Woo, that's a great idea, SJ. So this next one is dedicated to SJ. The one. Rico Roxx, I'm not the fucking one. I'm not the one. I'm not the one to fuck with. I'm a hustler. Get it, kids. I said, get it, kids. I said, get it, kids. Please do something. Do something that's that. Get it, kids. Rico Roxx. I just got so fucking sad. Now it's finally stops. SJ, where were you in my life? That's such a good idea.
Yep. Anytime.
Well, thank you for reminding me about souls tonight. I came in so, I can't never think about souls, and you reminded me that I do. I have these are shit I haven't thought about it in quite some time. I like to draw from that understanding of spirituality. I think the reason I don't is because our place in it is so fucking lame. Just being a farmed soul, doesn't it seem like?
I don't think we're a farmed soul. I think that we have, it's just the catch, you know, there's a catch to all this, and I think that we're not farmed, we're being hunted.
But in a sense, you could think of it like, for example, not a farm, but even if we are being hunted, a hunting ground, you could say. But it's like shooting fish in a barrel. It's almost like farm. But let me ask you this: in the theory of farm, like I was trying to analyze the world, and a lot of things they were doing, the world, the masses, didn't make sense to me in a physical sense, but it made sense to me in the soul farming lens, because I was trying to think like Illuminati, like what could they be trying to do with this mass brainwashing, blah blah blah, and I would see.
Do you know what the Illuminati is?
The way I claim it is just people that are connected to the soul farmers.
Perhaps, but the Illuminati it's an organization of professionals that have each
Like
other's
Beyonce?
back in business. So not only will they have each other's back, but they're corrupt,
Like
basically.
Beyonce,
So they want to help each other. They vow to help each other. I guess she
Are you
could be
saying
part of
it's
it,
an
yeah.
act?
So Illuminati.
You're saying it's an act
What?
that they're not really being possessed by demons and shit? Because that's what they, like for Beyonce, it's like apparently it's like the spirit jumps in her body.
So I'm pretty sure. So there's different degrees, and so Freemasonry is what what the Illuminati is part of. So Illuminati is basically Freemasons.
Well, see,
basically.
exactly. So
Okay, but the Freemasons have different degrees of membership, and so at the highest degree, they are, and probably at the lowest too. They're participating in rituals. They're introduced to the fountain of youth, which is child sacrifice and consumption, and so they withhold information and skill and expertise areas, whatever. They help each other get built up and make sure everyone else, the majority, stays down.
Well, the reason I mentioned them is
so like the stock market is right.
Like, so, for example, the reason I mentioned them is because I felt like they were using the influence that you mentioned, that this whole group of people who are connected, they were using their influence, and I was thinking to myself, like, is it for money? Or is it like what can people gain from doing this kind
Power.
of cahoots? And I was thinking, when this theory of the soul farming theory, which I call the Black Sun theory, which is like, I usually rep that, but in the soul farmers that worship the Black Sun, what I felt like it was one of the theories is, or the main theory for the Black Sun is, all these organizations, Illuminati just being one of them, then you got what other powerful entities on earth, these people who are manipulating the masses and these other, like these different, I was like, who are they, what are they trying to impress? Like, they're all trying to,
they're trying
this
to
is the theory though,
impress
that
the leaders.
what
right.
they were trying to impress, like, well, they were trying to gain that entity, they were trying to gain forgive, like mercy, by being like, oh, spare our souls, but we'll give you all these millions and millions of souls, but in almost like a sacrifice, like you mentioned, like a spiritual sacrifice.
Or ritual abuse.
Ritual abuse.
Ritual abuse, like grooming. That's
the act of. But I was thinking, like, it for all we know though, that it could be a failed attempt. Like let's say some guy was about to come rob you in the hood, and you were like, please don't rob me, here, I'll give you my cell phone, but don't fucking rape my girl. But then he's like, I'm gonna take your cell phone and rape your girl. Like, I think that's what the sad part for the Illuminati and all them is they think, oh, we're gonna offer this entities all these souls that we find, these physical bodies and weak souls, but then that's just on a chance that they be spared, a chance that they win the grace of those entities or entity that eats the souls. Can you imagine if at the end of it, it's like, nope, I want the entity that's farming the souls truly, it's like, I want them all. And all those attempts and all the millions of harvested things and all that time it wasted and all the movies made and all these things and all the human life, it was still like, it was just like, nice try, but nah, I want those and I want to eat the Illuminati people. So it's like, imagine this entity.
Well, either that or because anybody who gets to a certain degree in Freemasonry, they are put in situations like ritual things where they
hope they have the way out.
And so they are blackmailed a lot of the time too.
Do you think the Freemasonry actually has anything like, they actually got a way, they actually figured out a way to get out of the pool of the hunters?
The
Yeah, you think
Illuminati?
you said or the Freemasons, like any group, do you think they actually
No.
are smart enough to
But,
survive the hunt? Or do you think it's all just good try kids, but no?
well, some of them turn to Jesus once they decide to get out of it. They turn to Jesus and
In
they
my
hope for the
mind,
best and they
fucking
brace
paints a
themselves.
monstrous picture of these
Especially
hunters.
the whistleblowers, like Isaac Cappy. He was killed. Everybody who tries to out them gets killed eventually, or suicided,
So what do you think? Do you think that the
or
hunters
their
aren't that
family gets killed.
scary?
Sometimes they'll hold their family members for ransom. A lot of celebrities sacrifice
I
their own
understand all this,
children
but I feel
to
like
keep
what I'm
their
talking about
standing.
now, I'm talking about like I'm still tripping on the soul thing. Like do you think that, you know how you mentioned that it's not a farming, almost like they're hunting for souls afterwards? Like I'm tripping on that still. Like, do you think that? What do you feel about
Yeah,
those things? Do you
yeah,
think
like
that?
you
Do you think
naively.
that they're like scary or no?
It's a risk, it's a risk coming here and
Oh, no
experiencing
matter what, it's a
life
risk now.
as we know
Do you
it.
think that there's things you can do in this life that
Well, no
prepare you
matter
for
what,
that?
it's a risk.
That next jump? Or I mean, obviously, he probably does, right? Like how you act and all the things in this life make how your soul, it's gonna give you soul power in the next one, no?
Yeah. Yeah. Fortifying.
Fortify, that's
So
a good
so
word. I
it's
like
like a
that.
bridge. We went from one realm and we're coming through here and we're going to come out on the other side fortified
So some more than others, right? Varying degree
with
of
experience.
fortification.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, because some people have lost their mind
Is
while
there
they
an
were here.
opposite, a polar opposite to fortified, like a weak spot, like a blind spot almost, like something? Is there a way you can make your soul extra weak or extra susceptible to being hurt or like weak?
Yeah, you could become a lost soul
Ooh, explain
or
this
a
to me. Explain
captured
this.
soul. Like a lost soul or people who succumb to dementia and basically someone who loses their mind. They're
I've
not
met many of these.
reachable. They're disconnected.
Let me ask you a question for myself. So, like, let's say you're almost, I'm not going to say this is me, but this is just a characteristic I want you to answer with. But, like, let's say you're one of those people who is nihilistic, almost atheist, like, what does that up for the soul?
I think that those are just souls
Is that
that
considered
are,
a lost soul, or is that a
they're
different
just on
category?
that level. No, I don't think
Right,
they're
because
a
they still are
lost soul. I think
mindful.
they're
They
just
just
as
are
really
just,
unaware.
like, a puny soul.
They're really under the spell. They're under the spell.
They're not
They're
going to, yeah,
really in
they're
this
almost
realm.
going to be like,
They're present
they're
in
going to
this
be, I
realm.
think, probably easily
They're
hunted then
grounded.
in that case, if you think about it, them on a landscape versus they
Yeah,
just don't even realize that the hunters
in
are
a
there. They're
way,
just like,
yeah.
oh, I'm going to eat this bush. And then they get murked. So it's like a lack of awareness.
Yeah, like a lot of those people have gotten
So it's
vaccinated.
just saying like, if you don't look into this a little bit, then that means you're not, like, it's a lack of preparation in that case. So it's good to look into it, I think, for sure.
So, you know how a lot of kids have supposedly gotten autism from the
I didn't know this, but
vaccines?
sure.
Well, there's a lot of claims and videos you could watch. There's one called Vaxxed. You could look
Well,
it up on
I
BitChute.
think I've heard of that actually. I think,
Oh, Telegram. But anyways,
autism is a thing that I thought is like
yeah.
it's something I don't quite understand. I haven't defined for myself yet. So that way, it's like when you mention that,
It's
is
new.
that like a testable thing or like?
It's
Because I
well,
know
yeah.
that people like
By
to use this term
observation,
spectrum
you can tell.
or on the spectrum.
Yeah, because it affects everyone differently if they are affected in that way. So there's like lower levels where they're just slightly disconnected, but then there's severe levels where they're not. They're very
Have you ever
disconnected.
considered yourself on the spectrum?
Yeah.
I have myself, so that's why it's like, oh shit.
Well, when I was younger, they thought I was
I don't know if I
autistic
am or not, but it's a fun
because I
thing
was
to play
really
with for
quiet.
myself. No offense to anyone with autism, but I mean, to say if I am, like, I mean, think like, are
Well,
you?
have you ever gotten a vaccine? Have you ever gotten a vaccine?
As a kid, I'm sure I have.
Yeah.
My parents, I went to a public school system. I'm pretty sure I got something. I would have to ask my mom or something, but I would more than likely yes.
Plus, I think that when we're admitted into this world, we're given like a
You know, I have a
personality type, like
superpower about me though.
a
That's a little
nature.
different than a lot of other people. Not 100% different, but it's something that I think is a superpower that I was given. I was a preemie.
What's that?
So the way that vaccines would have affected because it's all sequenced. They give kids all the shot at the same time. It's all sequenced. I think that somehow my body is a little, it's differently developed. I don't know how, but
Yeah, it is. It is. Look, so a lot of kidnappings when they kidnap children to do certain ritualistic sacrifices, they look for preemies, and preemies have a certain character trait that can be visible. Like they'll have a lazy eye.
I had a lazy eye when I was a kid,
or something like
that in
their visual features. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So like that's why I'm a fucking
so have you heard of Project Monarch?
I'm that motherfucker, honestly. I'm just saying. Like,
Project Monarch?
I haven't heard of Project Monarch, I don't think. What is that?
Project Monarch is when when people apply for the military, they'll ask them a bunch of questions, right? And they'll pinpoint people who have been sexually abused or something like that, and show signs of having a dissociative personality potential. And so what they'll do is they'll deny them, getting admitted into the military, but
and they wouldn't
they'll
let
come
them
back
know.
to
They
them
would just
if
say,
they
"Oh,
teach
you
them,
for
and
some
they will.
reason," or would
Well, no, they'll ask them. They'll ask them if they would. They'll invite them to be part of this, top secret intelligence thing, and they'll feel all prestigious, right? And so they'll go into it, right? They'll get sucked into it, and then so they're psychologically, physically, everything like tortured and brainwashed, and they create multiple personalities that they can control. And so they created a whole generation of these people who then had children, and then they were ordered to molest those children, and then also implement those satanic practices on them, and then they became the monarchs. So a lot of those children are actually a lot of the famous young people on the A-list in Hollywood and porn stars, and so actually what they really do is they're creating a whole race of people who are okay with being prostitutes. Like they created prostitutes.
Oh, absolutely. Man. You're mentioning all kinds of that. Yeah. There's so many things that play at once that it's so crazy, isn't it? But yeah, that's something I thought about as well. Like just the physical farming of the human and like the kids and all this. That's an aspect.
Yeah. Human trafficking really is the farming.
They're fucking genius with this. I'm not even mad at the technique. They did it to human. They said they fucking popped billions of mountains and said, thank you very much. Like plucked the ripe tree, baby. Wow. I must give it to them.
A lot of these satanic people way back in the day, like in the Khazarians, they, worshipped, bull.
It makes sense to me that there's a few different groups that would want that level of power, though. So you mentioned satanic, but do you I think that's you're saying that it's one of many that it could be, don't you think? Like it could be satanic people, or it could be it's lizard people.
Because there's Satanists. Like I think it really is, just I don't know what you would call it. It's just pure evil. It's whatever this entity was, the God taught them about consuming children in such a way that would give them powers, give them youth, give them some kind of mental power, psychological power, whatever, and knowledge, and resilience in the world. And so they infiltrated the Jewish religion, and
I get that.
And use them as a veil.
Let me ask you this weird question. What have you ever thought about what animal that humans are closest to? Have you ever sat back and like, what are we closest to? Like, honestly, like you ever sat back and like thought, what are you closest to? What would you think that if you ever thought about that?
Well, I think different people look like different animals.
Okay, so for yourself, have you thought about yourself at all?
Myself?
Yeah, are you like more like a pig, more like a rat, more like a marsupial, more like a
I think
feline, more like a canine,
more like a I guess
like
I have a little bit of
what's that
feline in
called,
me,
rats?
a little bit of dog in
Famine?
me.
You're like a dog. It's interesting to me.
Not
It's interesting to me
quite a dog.
because humans are interesting like that.
Ferret.
I think wouldn't it be funny though? Like,
I think I'm a lemur. You know why? Because I like to get
no, I
high.
mean physically though, because you know how some people they do look more like monkeys. Like some people
Yeah.
are like look like a fucking monkey. And
So I've seen white Caucasian people.
you see what?
Who look to me like they look like baboons.
Exactly.
They look like they.
I was trying to think to myself honestly, like, what am I? Like what would I be closest to?
Some dogs look like Doberman.
Do you think there's a majority,
like
there's like a more than others? Like, I mean, let's not get too crazy with that. The Brahma like zone it into a main group. I'm thinking of it's more like I think there's monkey people for sure. Then there's I like to think rat like people. What's the rat category? It's like it falls under the category of like rat, mice, kangaroo is part of them, isn't it? Isn't kangaroo like a giant rat?
Raccoon.
Yeah.
A kangaroo? No, a kangaroo is like it's like a giant bunny with a long
Really? See,
tail.
I think that's not accurate. I think that you're because that's what tripped me out. I think I was hearing something that said they're actually like giant rats. So picture rat-like creatures.
Maybe in a way, yeah.
So this is what gets me interested because.
But see, rats don't jump around on their hind legs like that.
They kind of do. Like New York rats. I heard New York rats smoke cigarettes. Yes. What up, Tyler?
Did you ever see that documentary, Humanity?
What up? Shut up. We were just talking about because it's interesting, for sure. Because, well, rats. Another thing that always interested me about rats is the study of rats. In lab studies, the correlation of the rat brain to something. It's just a simpler brain. But they also test monkeys. I think it's interesting. I think there's some people monkey. There's some rat creatures going on. It's a lot to go at play here. Now, this is one last little thing we got here. Like, what do you think of the bear spirit? Do you think every animal comes from a different god? Or like, where does animals and spirit go? Because what trips me out about bears is, if bears were tiny, we probably wouldn't care, but bears are fucking monsters, like polar bears in particular. But damn, like, those are ferocious creatures in their own right. I wonder if where they land in all this soul entity shit.
I think that there is different gods for different things.
This is definitely a lot to unpack. We're gonna have to continue this talk eventually, more hours, because we only got one night here. But man, because I'm very fascinated in this, because all these things do swim through the mind here, folks. Because polar bears are freaky, man.
So are sharks.
Sharks. Yeah, sharks. I like shark symbolism. I rep the red shark symbol for some reason. I've always been drawn to that the symbol of a red shark. Cold-blooded, baby. But bears are, the more I learn about bears on Earth right now, the contemporary bears, I'm just so fascinated with them. I feel like, can you imagine them with our level of intelligence? Just like, but if we had the abilities they had, I don't know if anyone who's listening knows this, but bears can smell a seal under 3 feet of ice. They could be swimming with 3 feet of solid ice between him and the bear can smell him under there. Like, oh, there's one under there from 3 feet through 3 feet of solid ice. The scent and it could smell something 18 miles away. The nose of a bear can smell 18 miles away.
But can they call Grubhub and have someone deliver McDonald's?
No, I'm just impressed with the senses. You know? I'm a sensor. I'm like a sensor. I love senses. How many senses do you think there are?
So, 6 or 7.
Nice answer. I was hoping you were ready to say that.
So, did you eat McDonald's growing up, or how about this? So, do you agree that our generation tends to look younger than they should, or at least compared to our parents or their parents?
Right. What was that? What was the question? I was too busy laughing at Shadow.
Did you
He said women have an
Do
extra
you agree
sense.
that
He said women have an extra sense. I wonder what that is. But yeah, then I didn't listen.
it's called the deception sense? So do you agree that our generation tends to look a lot younger for their age, at least in comparison to their parents or their parents' parents?
Interesting. So you want me to say
My
yes?
mom's made 30 years
You want
old
me to say
looking
yes
really
first so you
old.
can tell me the second part? Because I'm just, my objective self is trying to say, like, I don't know for a fact that that's the case. Like that.
Well, I didn't
Well,
say
no,
that
but
for
yeah,
a
like
fact, but I
I could
said
say,
to me, like they tend to.
yes.
Our
Yes,
generation
I think that we
tends
have
to.
adapted yes. I think it's common knowledge that we are
So here's
more
my theory.
nutritious now, right?
Well, in a way, yeah. So everybody who I think looks young for their age, who's around my age, I asked them if they ate McDonald's growing up, and most of them have, if not all of them. And so my theory is that because there's a rumor going around that there's human baby children eat in fast food,
I
especially
never heard that.
McDonald's.
That's fucking
And
horrifying. Are you
it is
serious?
actually it's a proven fact that fetal tissues are used to make flavor in a lot of our products that we use every day. Like any Nestle product or a lot of soda pops have it in like Pepsi. So the stuff has been put in our food, and I think it's really
Why would you
addictive.
say
I think
that,
that's part of the
SJ?
addiction, right? But it's the fountain of youth.
Ugh,
This is what
I'm
I'm
just turned
learning.
blue.
Okay, so I think that people, because the preservatives of these, like,
I'm not saying I never really thought about that. You came out of left field with that one. I heard of them doing all kinds of factory farming, but no one ever mentioned farming babies. I mean, it makes sense, but like, wow, I'm surprised that's not more mainstream.
Well, nobody likes to talk or fathom those kind of things, so. But it's coming
So
out
you're
now.
saying
That's
that you heard that McDonald's puts fetus in the secret recipe,
or children, like up to
is
4
it
years
human
old.
fetus or just animal fetus?
Humans, yeah, human kids.
Homo sapien fetuses, folks.
Humans.
That is the word of the day. Woo! Man, I hope everyone's eating right now. I hope everyone just has a nice feeling in their gut like I do, because I just ate some McDonald's all the time.
Yeah.
Woo, folks.
Sorry to break it to you.
Folks, I could have composed myself. My guts are gonna deal with that later. But wow, because if you think about it, that's just. I'm sitting here thinking of polar bears eating humans, and you're talking about humans eating humans. That's an interesting topic.
Yeah.
So many ways you could think about it.
In a way, it's ritual abuse, satanic ritual abuse, supposedly. So they're cannibalizing us.
What does that do to the soul?
And they are experimenting on us.
Does that do anything, or does that not really matter?
Well, I think that karma is one of the like the hidden like legislature branches.
The universal law of karma, or the theory of karma?
The universal law.
There's a difference between the idea of karma and then the law of karma.
Yeah, it's the law of karma that I'm talking about, because I think the reason why there's ritualistic anything like abuse or whatever to gain their agenda or whatever, to do what they're doing, I think it's they're working under the law of karma. So why don't they just come out and just kill us, right? And just do what they want,
that's
right?
kind of done. You don't do that to the farm animals before the cutting.
Even if they can, they wouldn't do that because of the karma.
I see.
So they have to make so you know how they say that we were being groomed with Disney and a lot of the child shows,
like the karma
a lot of in school. So no, listen. So we've been groomed for this whole vaccination thing, because a lot of us, we just said, okay, let's do it, and to me it's rape.
Man, me too.
I see it for what it is, but a lot of people just let it happen, and they try to push others to do it because they've been groomed.
They're pretty much saying, "Oh, time to get in the oven."
Yeah.
So I get that idea of it, but now, with all that being said, of course, the idea of accepting it or not as a consumer? Do you think that is if you ignorant will save you, like, oh, they did not know, or because they chose to never acknowledge, or do you think that as a consumer you done sold your soul?
I think that once you are made aware and accept it as part of your belief system, it becomes, the karma isn't enacted.
Man, when you say that word aware, I get iffy on this one, because I feel like, well, how aware do we need to be before you start taking responsibility? And I say this to the general, from a general statement, because it's like some people are so aware it hurts, so intellectual it hurts, and then some people are
hurt.
like, I could choose to give in to blatantly ignorant things, to feign this, plead ignorance, you could say.
Well, I mean, you can do that, but deep down,
so then they're aware enough for the consequence, because they claim they're unaware.
Well, there's people who tend to deal with things in denial. So you can be in denial all you want. You can curse me all you want. You can do all this, but at some level you are aware of this, whether you want to believe it or not. What do you think the varying
levels of that are? Because in my little, you could say my way is a little messed up, but I feel like, how could you not be aware?
I think there's a grace period.
How could you not be aware that McDonald's doing that?
If you don't know, if no one brought it to your attention.
Because I knew that. What you mentioned, I knew that there was something up without me knowing it was a fetuses. I knew that all kind of like.
That was your intuition.
Just with with everything, like you said, oh, the way they grew them and this and that. Like, I'm a guy living next to a train track right now, but I'm free as fuck. People don't understand that.
Your intuition is an advocate of karma.
So this is the thing, though. I feel like it's interesting to watch the masses seemingly unaware.
A lot of them are distracted, and a lot of them are groomed into dismissing those kind of notions. I don't buy
that they're unaware, though. That's my thing.
A lot of them are bitter and I guess developed a little bit
bitter. I think they can both happen. You could be bitter and aware at the same time. I believe. I think that's where it's so crazy.
Yeah. Or just not mature spiritually. So if you're not mature spiritually, it'd be easy for you to say, "Oh, fuck it, I don't care. It's just a joke, whatever."
How do you do you feel like loving them? Do you feel like you have a joyous opinion of unaware people with such awareness in oneself? Or how do
I have empathy for them.
Empathy, which is you could just relate to them, or
like I know how they feel. I think I've been there.
You feel some sense of something for it. Like I feel like almost a nurturing sense of.
You can't be mad at them, really.
You're definitely not mad at them.
And there's all these different levels and stages that they go through, and some are different than others.
Yeah, there's something about a nice person. There's something about a smile, isn't there? I love a good smile. It's little things.
Yeah, that's why I don't wear a mask.
And that's why it's the little things. I think we're gonna have to wrap this up here in a second, but I just want to end up with this: is like we take our ideals and our souls and spirits and all this life, we take it so big, but it's little things like a smile that. For someone who thinks big, I do really like the little things in life, and I think I know for a fact in the big scheme of things, maybe someone's smile isn't the thing that's gonna give me the key to the spirit, God's, whatever, but
it makes it worthwhile.
But it keeps me sane, people, so I don't become a lost soul. Referencing SJ's thing here, because for as fucked up as all this is, I'm still not a lost soul, and that in itself is. It's a beaut, folks. It's a beaut. So, SJ, I'm going to wrap this one up. And thank you for coming on. Also, Suicide. And where can people find you? Yeah. If anyone's ever listening.
alternativelectures@gmail.com.
You heard it there, folks.
And then Telegram.
It says you can find me on Podbean and on Spotify, everywhere. Free your mind, folks. I'm going to go ahead and play a song, my own track that I made just as a end of show thing. But thank you so much.
Alright, I'm gonna hop off.
Free your mind, free your
Good
mind,
night.
free your mind. Rico Roxx, baby. And we're gonna hit him with the, we'll hit him with the, alright folks, we're gonna hit you with the 1 second freestyle and end of the road freestyle. Let's see how that goes. And then good night, free your mind, free your mind, free your mind, baby. No, I don't know you, and you don't know me, but here you approach, get approached. Rico Roxx a ghost, and you bump my shoulder. Rico Roxx, now I'm fucking gonna show you why my life is over, boy. I got my eye on the prize, and the prize is eating your life and your essence. Your boy, you should just go away for a second, but I know you won't back down. I was happy, I hoped it went down like that. You just fell in Rico Roxx trap, boy. Better beg for your life. Who am I? I'm Ghost, I am poking the bear, but I fucking don't care. So what's that say about me? Bitch, I don't fucking care, cause I'm fucking carefree. I'ma fucking eat, I'ma slay ya. I'ma take my blade and fillet you. So don't you fucking return the verse, cause I will return berserk. Z-E-R-K. You won't be okay. You won't be okay. You won't be okay when Rico Roxx come at your day. Boy, you better behave. You better not look my way. Cause Rico Roxx, I'm just spitting on the flow. And I know, cause the story's untold. I'm rapping against little girls, hoes. I know that the MM, I am that RR. Bitch, I go hard. You go so nothing. Bitch, I am stunting. But I talk a lot cause I thumping on beats, nigga. I'm never defeated, but never found either, cause I have been gone for long, nigga. You need to back the fuck down, cause I know I will leave you with I got the crown, and I will leave you with nothing, bitch, in the ground. I will have you like Kill Bill volume number 3. I'll have you buried alive, crying for your life. I hope your fist ain't broken by that time, cause you better not swing when I never face defeat. I'ma show you what it means when your mind be fucking crazy and your body somehow doesn't regenerate. Degenerate, your mind can keep going and coming great. I'm like a beast, I'm not a young one. I've been around for some long runs, and I know that it comes with prices and issues and costs, and you swear you don't know.